bringing you the news and information you need from the people making a difference. This is Comcast Newsmakers.
Well, I'm glad you could join us. As you can see, we're in a different location today. We don't have this many barrels in our studios with Comcast, but today we do. And Mark Curtis is with us right now, and we're at the Maryvale Starmont Winery in Napa. And Mark, is this different than being in the studio?
It is, and it's much better because the smell of the oak barrels with the wine is just, it's wonderful.
Well, Mark, of course, has been following politics. He also is a host on Comcast Newsmakers. And Mark, good to see you in person. We haven't met before,
I know.
but we were doing this kind of strange.
Great to see you.
Anyway, Mark has a book. It's called The Making of the President, 2008, and it's by Mark Curtis. You put your name right on there.
First book I ever wrote.
No fear. Right?
I'm really proud. It's like having a baby. It's my first book, and I love it.
Age of Obama, A Reporter's Journey with Clinton, McCain, and Obama. You had a hell of a trip.
13 months on the road with all of the candidates. I mean, we started with about 15 candidates, and I bounced all over the country, ricocheted like a pinball, and through 32 states with the candidates on what I call the road trip of a lifetime.
I have to give you a lot of credit because you left Channel 2. You were there for a number of years. I remember seeing you there. And then you said, I'm going to do something, I guess, that you wanted to do, you're interested in, right?
Oh, political junkie. Yeah. I wanted to go on the road with the candidates. I knew this was going to be one of the greatest elections in U.S. history, and just because I was out of work didn't mean I didn't want to be a part of it. So I just got plane tickets and went all over the country and followed the candidates as a freelance reporter and political analyst.
32 states?
I believe 32 states. I may have lost count, but I got to go to places I'd never been before, like Rapid City, South Dakota, and doing my live shots in the shadows of Mount Rushmore with those four great presidents over my shoulder. And that was the last primary. That's when Barack Obama finally won the nomination. It was just great.
When did you get a sense that he was going to take this whole thing?
You know, I didn't, because when he won the Iowa caucuses as an African American winning a state that's 97% white, that told all of us in the press corps, hey, this guy can win. But 5 days later, Hillary Clinton had this huge come-from-behind victory in New Hampshire, and we knew we were going to have a back-and-forth seesaw battle, Titan. It was like the Ali Frazier fights, you know, from the 70s, and it went all the way to June. So we didn't really have a clear picture of who was going to be a nominee, but we knew we were going to have the greatest battle ever.
Yeah. At what point, though, did it start to turn back again to Barack Obama?
Well, you know, it started actually turning back towards Hillary Clinton when she won the Texas and Ohio primaries and then won Pennsylvania. When you win three of the biggest states in the country, what that says is this person can win the presidency. They can win the White House. And so the momentum started going back to her, but then it swung back to Obama. It just kept going back and forth, and that was the fun of it.
What went wrong with McCain's campaign?
Well, I tell you what, he didn't get the internet, number one. That's where all the young people are communicating. More kids, I call them kids, but 18 to 30 years old.
Mere children.
Yes.
In my view.
Well, they don't read the newspapers. They don't get their news from television, radio as the primary source. They're on the internet. They're on Facebook. They're on YouTube. They're communicating with each other. And that's where McCain just didn't get it, and Obama seized it, and he communicated so well via the internet, not only to fundraise, but to get his message out, to organize, to get volunteers, and he really penetrated that group of 18 to 30-year-old voters. I think he won like 80% of that vote.
Yeah, and as he said the other night about the situation now in the country, I get it. And he got that too. He got the age, he got the electronic age, he got those people, as you point out.
And he knew the number one issue was the economy. The economy always drives the United States elections, and when the stock market tanked in September, that was really the end of McCain.
At what point did race not matter?
Oh, I think very early on in the process, because people want to be inspired. They want to be uplifted. They like a positive message. In many respects, Obama reminded me a lot of Ronald Reagan with his Morning in America and Shining City on the Hill optimism. You know, for Ronald Reagan, the glass was always half full. And as bad as things have gotten in this country right now, Obama has that same optimism. And I think people like to hear that.
Yeah. And having seen all that happen, how do you think his presidency is going to go? We're just about out of time. But
I don't know. I hope it goes well. I mean, for the sake of all of us, we want the economy to come back. I mean, I'm not a partisan. I want all presidents to succeed.
So do I, actually. The Making of the President, 2008. It's by Mark Curtis, who's a host on Comcast and an expert in the field of politics. Nice to see you, Mark.
Thank you, Jack.
And thank you for joining us.